Hi, my name is Samantha Bos, and I'm with the University of Texas at Austin. Today, I'm with Project STAIR to talk about data interpretation, specifically progress monitoring. In this video, we will talk about interpreting progress monitoring data. Collecting and graphing progress monitoring data helps to make data-based decisions about the effectiveness of intervention or instruction. In this video, we'll review the important terms and decision rules that will help you interpret your progress monitoring data accurately. So let's get started with some key terms. Let's review the key terms we will be using when discussing graphed progress monitoring data. Baseline is the score or scores that represent median student performance prior to initiating intervention. So over here, here's my baseline. This is the student's starting point, which helps us set a goal for progress. The goal line is a line which connects the baseline scores to the score expected at the end of the intervention. So you can see here, I have my goal line coming from my baseline set all the way for the rest of the term. This shows us the trajectory we expect the student to follow. The slope is not represented on this example, but you may hear the term used interchangeably with trend. It is generally referring to the rate of growth or student progress. The trend line is a line which shows the direction of the student's overall growth during the intervention period. This is what we will be attending to when making decisions, and you can see here is our trend line. To interpret progress monitoring data, we want to first get an idea of where students are starting before intervention by collecting baseline data and putting that into the graph, using it to set an appropriate but ambitious goal. After setting the baseline and goal for your student, you will want to collect 4 to 6 data points before attempting to interpret your graph to give the intervention or instructional change time to have an effect. Once you are ready to interpret the graph data, you'll examine the trend line in relation to the goal line. So the student's actual trajectory compared to the expected trajectory you set. Based on the relationship between those two lines, you'll follow the established decision rules. This helpful flowchart shows the decision rules for progress monitoring data. If the trend line is steeper than the goal, it indicates you'll increase the goal. If the trend line is even with the goal line, you'll continue as is and continue to monitor the graph for changes. If the trend line is flatter than the goal line, you'll want to make an instructional change. Note that before making any changes, you should first establish that the intervention was given as intended and the student received it. If fidelity is not certain, you'll want to improve fidelity before making any decisions. Now let's apply these decision rules to some real student graphs. In this example, the trend line is steeper than the goal line. So we have our goal line here and our trend line there. This indicates that the student is on track to exceed the goal. Following the decision rules, you would consider increasing the goal. In this example, the trend line is even with the goal line. This indicates that the student is on track to meet their goal. Following the decision rules, you would continue as is and observe the trend line weekly. In this example, the trend line over here is flatter than our goal line. This indicates that the student is not on track to meet their goal. Following the decision rules, you would consider if fidelity needs to be addressed, and if yes to the fidelity is in place, then revisit the graph in 4 to 6 more data points. If fidelity is not a concern, you should consider a change in instruction. Thanks for watching this STAIR-tailored video on progress monitoring. We hope that you check out our website as well as follow us on YouTube to see lots of great videos on mathematical instructions and database individualization. Thanks, and we hope to see you soon.